Yo, what's good guys? It's Form back at here with another tutorial. Today I'm finna show you guys how to make chords. Don't mind me, my throat is just kind of feeling a little bit weird. But not too long ago I put a poll on my YouTube channel that says like, what do you guys struggle the most with? I've seen some people, they chose the chords, the counter melodies, the sound selection, and so on. So in this tutorial, I'm finna show you guys the whole process that I go through when I'm making my melodies, when I make my counter melodies, when I choose what instruments I'm gonna put on, and how I arrange it. So the first thing that I always do is I pull up the VST or the library that I'm gonna use. For my paint beats, I only use this library right here. It's called the Grandeur, or however you say it. And then what I have on like the preset for it is I have the tone sets to soft. The lid, I usually make it closed, or if not halfway closed. I feel like it adds more emotion to it. You can change all of this right over here, but I don't really touch that. It's just personal preference. Second thing is I look for vocals. I have a whole vocals kit that I have here that I use when I'm like trying to make some melodies or need some ideas. So before you even choose your vocal, you have to pick whether you want to make it a minor melody or you want to make it a major melody. So all here I have them all BPM labeled. I have them key labeled and such. So we're just gonna try and find a vocal sample right now, and yeah, I'll let you guys know when I'm done with that. So we got the vocal sample. I'm gonna let you guys listen to that in a second. So as you can see here, it's called Hate to See You, 168 BPM, which we're already at. We can change the tempo if I want to make it slower, faster. And how you do that is double click on the sample. It's gonna bring you a whole little section where you want to reverse it, normalize it, remove DC, go to time, right click on it, and then put project tempo, and the mode you're gonna put the stretch. So now you're gonna be able to change the tempo without changing the pitch on the sample. Let me let you guys listen to that now.
Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? 3 years shattered on the floor. Did she make it feel that easy to stay the night and leave me hide in the dark?
So now that you guys have a little feel of what the sample sounds like, what I do here, since this is in a major, how do you say it, major key. So what you can do to find the D major scale is you can either have one that you already have saved, or just go up here to the little triangle next to the wrench, go to where is it, go to stamp, and then just put the major scale, and then just click it in, and it's gonna drag out like this. And then just put it to D, which is gonna be the key we're gonna be working in. And then now we're gonna be ready to start making a little chord. One thing that I do is I listen out to the vocal sample, and I try to hum a root note in my head, which I know is gonna be D. So that's gonna be the first one. And then we're gonna stretch it out and see how long we make it last, and then we're gonna see what other note that we put on. So I'm gonna let you guys see the whole process on that now.
Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? Leave me hide in the dark. Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? 3 years shattered on the floor. Did she make it feel that easy to stay the night and leave me hide in the dark? Guess it was.
Alright, so I have the whole chord now. All I did was put down the root note. That's it. Now the next thing that I did is I selected it all by holding Control and then left clicking and dragging. Clicked Control B to copy it over. Drag this over on top of here, and then Control up to put it up and on. And once I did that, all I did was put in notes on the ghost notes that you see here. All of these white notes. So D, F, A. That's a major chord. And one thing that I like to do in most of my melodies is remove the note that I put under it, which was the root note, to give it like a different tone. So this is with it, and then this is without it. It sounds kind of the same, but I feel like it gives it a different tone. And then if you want to go a different route with it, you can remove either the middle note or you can remove the top note. It gives it two different types of tones. I like to remove the top note because I feel like the middle note is what gives it more emotion. And then what you can do is you can add variations to it with the chords in the background, the ghost notes. So I'm gonna do that now, and I'm gonna let you guys listen to that finished product. Okay, so this is the whole melody that I came up with, and again, I made this melody only using the ghost notes, so there is no notes that are off of the ghost notes on the background. You can use it to create a little bit of tension in the chords, as in, for example, so something like that. You can do that. It will work, but it won't work in every scenario.
Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? 3 days shattered on the floor. Did she make it feel that easy? Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? 3 days shattered on the floor. Did she make it feel that easy to say that night and leave me hurt in the dark? Guess it wasn't so hard. I lost my faith in you when she took my place. Oh, I hate that she knows how you taste, and the road that you take to your place, and the look that you get on your face when you least it. Did you say?
Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So, alright. The next process that I have here is whether I want to add a top melody on top of the keys, or if I'm missing a little bit of empty spaces here. So, for example, I'm going to add a bass to kind of put everything into place.
Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? Was she just what you needed and more? Was she worth it? 3 days shattered on the floor. Did she make it feel that easy to say that night and leave me hurt in the dark? Guess it wasn't so hard.
As you can see, the melody sounds a little bit more fuller, mainly because of the bass. So the next thing that we would want to do is we can add like a top layer kind of sounding like a pad, and the one that I use for this is the Atama Mark on the electric pianos on X-Band. So what I do here is I copy my main melody over and I remove all of the excess stuff, as in the extra notes that I put inside of the piano melody, mainly because I don't want both of my instruments to be playing the same thing at the same time. Alright, so then you can randomize it, strum it, do whatever you want, and then put it an octave higher, because I feel like this really gives this piano slash pad better feel to the melody. So unfortunately I changed the vocals. I really wasn't feeling it anymore. But this is basically another vocal, same key, and the same rules still apply. So the next thing here is I added the piano, which is like an electric piano with like a little pad in the background. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to see what other instruments I could implement into this melody, so then I'd be able to continue adding on to this. So I have two pianos, I have a bass, I have vocals. Now the next thing I feel like this melody could use is a little bit of ambience. That added like a little bit of ambience to the melody, which I'm pretty much like. Next thing I feel like it could use is a guitar. I'm gonna pull up Ample Guitar. This is completely free. You just have to go to their website, put on my mixer track on it, preset, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm basically going to follow the ghost notes from my main melody. I'm gonna make this melody and then I'm gonna be back and I'm gonna show you guys how I made it. So melody is done. So the next thing that I'm gonna show you guys is I basically just put in the blue notes and chose which notes I want to copy off of the main melody. So I decided to go with the F, which is obviously on the ghost note, the A, and then the D. This one here is just to give it a little bit of tension, like I was talking about earlier, which sounds like this. So it's like kind of slides into that next note, and then the next note was B, which is not on the ghost notes, but it sounded nice in that position, so I just left it there. And then all of these extra notes here is just really listening to the melody and trying to find a bounce in it. Alright, so now that I have everything arranged, I can show you guys my thought process on this. So to begin it with, since the vocals start off pretty soft, I don't want to introduce the whole sample with all of the instruments at once, because it's gonna come on very strong to vocals that are coming on very soft, if that makes sense. So once I do that, you can see over here the vocals start having more wavelengths on it, meaning the person who is singing or speaking is having more tension in their voice and they're starting to speak more. So that's when I feel like I can bring on the entire loop just so it matches the energy of the vocals that are on the sample. And then once over here, still the same kind of like wavelengths as over here. So I have all of the instruments except the guitar. So that way here, since it's kind of breaking off, I have just these two notes, which is the piano and the E piano with the effects on it. So it kind of like smooths out the end of the sample, and that way it doesn't just come to an abrupt end. So I'm gonna let you guys listen to this entire arrangement on this loop, and then